Real estate agent sprung about bragging about a rental increase. And today we're going to also look at Travis Jordan's story. Has he been told if you don't like it, you can leave? We're diving into the rental crisis as it grows across Australia. Having a look on the top. So we see real estate agent sprung bragging about a $225 per week price hike. A company has been exposed celebrating the $225 rental increase as an achievement, as a renter shows a screenshot of an email that they received from a national real estate manager known as Ironfish. Now, these guys are a massive organization. They deal with a lot of investors and also obviously have a massive backbook of properties that they manage for their 10,000 plus customers with 15 years experience over 5 cities. And we can see here that they've actually sent out an email, probably meant for landlords, to a tenant here bragging about the increase. Now, that was their biggest increase of $225 per week for the month of June. And we can see that the renter posted on Reddit saying, my rent went up by $400 a month, and the agency sent me an email bragging about it. The email also shows recipients that there was a further average rental increase of $100 per week, as we can see here for June. For July till December last year, average rents for Ironfish were $393 per week, up $100 for the quarter ending June 2022. The Reddit thread also exposed and responded with other people saying, look, I'm a landlord here. It's not justified to me. It shouldn't have been illegal to increase the rent this much for the same tenant. Different for new tenants, but come on, I guess this is more outrageous in terms of the amount that it's been increased by. Another comment said, I've been a landlord for a couple of years and will not be putting up rent. He's got tenants in there that have been there for 12 years. They've kept the place immaculate, and they've got young kids both on low pay, so not moving any rents there. Another comment saying that it's cringy. I guess the data suggests that Ray White has published recently, rents across the board have increased by almost 14%, which has outpaced CPI growth. It definitely is becoming a challenging situation to put a lot of those renters out there that are grappling with increased costs for fuel. We're seeing inflation having a massive impact on groceries and now rent as well as the fact that national vacancies are at a record low of just 1%. So the lack of listings is increasing the competition, which increases the cost of rent, as well as the rising of rent. As we see here on the Reddit thread, they talk about this exact same article, and they just get the feeling, one comment it says, that it was meant for the owner. So I definitely don't think there was anything malice here. Yeah, another one saying that it's their thoughts as well, that it was accidentally sent, not on purpose, and that they'd had the same experience where the landlord sent their annual survey instead of the tenants one. They sent the landlord version. So has happened in the past. So definitely potentially just a mistake there, but certainly causing some outrage. We've seen also here where some renters are getting told, if you don't like it, you can leave, as they're getting priced out of the market. So Travis Jordan has been living in his 3-bedroom townhouse in Brunswick, Melbourne North, and his rent's increased by $90 a week with his roommate leaving recently. And he said he wanted to stay in the property, but couldn't afford the increase. And effectively, the real estate agent more or less said that, if you don't like it, you can leave, as we can see here as one of the responses. But we are seeing, obviously, landlords struggling and coping with the increase on rents. We saw the same thing here with Wayne. He's in rural Victoria, Northeast. Rent increased by about $70 a week. Same thing where a lot of renters are grappling with those increased costs. We can see here with residential and investment lending, certainly there might be lack of stock due to investors not playing a big part in purchasing property during the pandemic. That might be one cause. Another cause, as mentioned earlier, was the fact that vacancy levels are so low, interest rates going up, they're being passed on, and definitely starting to see a bit of a struggle out there. We're also seeing not a great deal of investors refinance as a portion to owner occupier. So whether they're capped out from an equity point of view, and they can't refinance, so they can't get those costs down of the mortgage. Could be another factor that we're seeing there. We can see more statistics here in terms of the amount of people renting, about 26% based on statistics, a larger percentage of owner occupiers with and without mortgages. Now, I guess the main thing here is the New South Wales Greens MP, Jenny Leong, has actually called for desperate need for reforming rental laws. She's introduced a bill to New South Wales Parliament trying to get regulatory measures to relieve and protect renters, as there's people going to libraries and community centres just to stay warm as they're struggling to meet their rental commitments, let alone paying for heating on top. Now, the bill, it includes capping how much rent can be increased in line with consumer price increase. We've seen that with ACT. They've capped rent that can't be increased by more than 10% or CPI plus 10%. Victoria also doing the same similar thing, where the Rental Tenancies Act requires tenants to receive 60 days notice of any proposed increases on rent. And in New South Wales, I guess there's no kind of limits here. So if the tenant doesn't like it, they can challenge it, but they risk losing the property, and tenants risk getting a bad reference for looking, which will potentially impact their ability to find the next property. Definitely interesting calls for capping limits. I mean, what do you think? Do you think this is something that the government should tackle, or is it a case of a free market where if you don't like it, look for another one? I know that's a big challenge at the moment, because even trying to find a property, there's so many people you're competing with that it does come down to price. So leave a comment below. We'd love to know what you think. And if you have any sort of questions, leave them down in the comments. Always happy to answer them. Here at Hunter Galloway, we're mortgage brokers. We're based in Brisbane. We work with people Australia-wide. So if you're living in Perth, Adelaide, New South Wales, anywhere else across Australia, and you're looking for a mortgage broker, we can help. There's no cost for our service. You can call us on 1300 088 065 or visit our website, fill in the contact form, huntergalloway.com.au, and see you next time. Thanks very much for watching, guys, and have a great day.